2, 1, go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another exciting adventure with Professor Victor Singing Eagle at Sisseton, Wahpeton College. Native American literature. Today, or this is part 2 of a previous lecture, but I want to spend a teeny tiny itty bitty itsy bitsy time bugging you guys about some of the stuff that we've already learned and then where I hope we can go in the future. So, like I said in the previous video, a lot of people have been missing class, and I've been sitting there in room 1, whatever room it is, twiddling my thumbs and messing around with Chat GPT and wondering, what the heck, where'd everybody go? Nobody loves me anymore. But I'm not going to do that. I'm making videos because I don't want you to flunk. So, what is it that I want to bother you with right now? Right, a quick review of some of the stuff we've already learned. I got to put on my glasses because I'm getting old. Feels like the caffeine is starting to kick in. I've been drinking coffee all day. There we go. Right. So stuff that we have covered since the beginning of class, a lot of it appears here, and I said in the previous video that, crikey, I hate it when it does that. There we go. By the way, feel free to text me if you need to text me. Let me see. Right, we got stuff about the Popol Vuh. Why does that? Oh, the full video. That's posted. We learned a little bit about the Popol Vuh. We discussed what exactly literature is, the Indian version versus non-Indian version, why they kind of clash a little bit and maybe they don't clash, and why they can be synthesized. We discussed briefly the concept of culture, and we also discussed opening up the canons versus mainstream non-native literature. What is opening up the canons, and why should we care? I discussed the Popol Vuh again and the Mexican flag. I also mentioned that a lot of native literature, there are some common characteristics, not only in the Americas, but in native societies all over the world. We talked a little bit about that. For the U.S., we spoke of 4 generations of native writers. I'll get into that in a second. We also shared some myths about the woman who fell from the sky, the earth diver mythology. We discussed Tiffany Midge. There she is. Isn't she cute? Look at those pretty eyes. Sherman Alexie. I didn't put him up yet. Phooey. I didn't put Sherman up. Or did I? Oh, we talked about Zit Kalasa, Gary Hobson. There's my old mentor. I thought I had Sherman Alexie up here, but if I don't, I apologize, and I need to get him up there quick. We talked about my old mentor, my late mentor, Paula Gunn Allen. And we even spoke about a quiz. We spoke also about William Apess, John Joseph Matthews, some Gerald Visner and Inscott Momaday. I put videos up on those guys as well. For some reason, I don't see them, but I know they're up here, and if they're not, I'm going to go double check and re-put them up. Now, that's kind of the stuff we've been learning, and I wish it would stop doing that. Gimme! What happened to my stuff? Well, let's use the mouse. Why did... Oh, I see what it did. Give me my stuff back. There. I think my fingers are too fat. What I'm trying to do is make a Native American literature timeline. Somebody named Cliff Harris on a website called Sutori, which sounds Japanese, made a rudimentary one that looks like it's made for elementary school kids. Look what he did to Paula Gunn Allen. He put a non-flattering picture of her up, but that's okay. There's it, Kalasa. There's a timeline that kind of stretches down. Native American Indian literature, blah, 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 blah. I want to do one that's a little bit more comprehensive, bigger. There's James Welch. I knew him as well, another one of my mentors. Uh, that's got to be Louise Erdrich. There she is. Isn't she cute? James Welch, again. There's Louise Erdrich's Love Medicine novel, one of my favorites. And then there's a quiz. The person didn't really put much up. I would rather make a nicer one, and I don't know if I should make it linear this way, horizontal, or what. But we need to make a bigger, more detailed one than this, is what I'm trying to get at. So I'm going to work on one. I'll do my best. I don't know if I'm as computer savvy as I want to be, but I'll try. That being said, I want to share a little bit. I mentioned this book. This is Tiffany Midge. Says here, forward by Gary Hobson. Cool. Right on. Tiffany Midge wrote Bury My Heart at Chuck E. Cheese. I've been reading it whenever I get a chance. I love it. Someone says it's full of snark and sarcasm. Well, yeah, that's Tiffany Midge. But I like it because she's making fun of a lot of pop culture and non-natives and their ignorance towards us. So it's a nice, light-hearted poking eyes at non-native people, that kind of thing. And she's really good at it, and it'll give you a chuckle if you ever want something to read. I'll provide. I made copies for you guys, and nobody showed up to class to pick them up. Next, we got another Tiffany Midge novel, full of poems, actually, and short stories, called The Woman Who Married a Bear. Another good book. I made copies again, and nobody showed up to pick them up. Ooh, I'm starting to slobber. See, you guys got me slobbering because nobody's coming to class. All right. Woman Who Married a Bear. I'm drooling like a bear. And then I saw this book in our Sisseton Wahpeton College library/bookstore. And I started reading it. And I'll be darned, there's a bunch of stuff in here. This guy is writing about growing up as an urban Indian in California. Northern California, too. That's me. So you know I'm going to be reading the heck out of this over the weekend. And I hope that you will come to class and we can talk about some of this stuff, and I can make some more copies for you and maybe even post them on e-learning for those who don't come to class. You know who you are. So that's all I'm going to bother you with right now. Thank you so much for being so polite. And I hope to see you maybe next week. You gonna come to class next week? We'll see. All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a good weekend. Talk to you later.